Hello and welcome to the latest Turntable Hi-Fi update video. In this video I show my new phono stage, the Musical Fidelity X-LP2. This is one of the hi-fi products that I've always wanted to own ever since it came out, even though I didn't have a turntable at the time. It came out in the year 2000 and is now only available second hand, and they are very, very rare. At the time it retailed for £499 in the UK or $800 in the United States. Adjust for inflation, that's about £750 in today's money. And as I say, they're rare. I had an eBay search running for ages, but eventually managed to pick one up in the classifieds in a hi-fi magazine for £350, which is sort of the going rate, although I have seen them on eBay going for over £500. Now, as you can see, it's a very quirky looking unit, and the reason for that's very simple. It's actually three separate boxes which are connected together by these little plates in the middle here, so that the two at the bottom can have another one sitting on the top. These are made of aluminium, and in all honesty, having them stacked in a pyramid is actually a little bit of a gimmick, although it does look rather cool. It'd be more sensible to have the three things side by side. So you're probably watching this and thinking, why on earth does it come in three? Separate boxes? Well, the idea is pretty simple. The central unit is the power supply, and it feeds the other two units. Both of these are Phono Pre-Amplifiers, but they're mono. You need one for left and one for right. Why Musical Fidelity decided to go down this route, I don't know. I'd imagine it's simply that they wanted to continue using this kind of casework and the electronics wouldn't fit in one unit, so they decided to make two. And it's also a bit of a unique selling point. Here you can see the back of the units. In the centre, the power supply. This is a 12 volt AC power supply, not DC but AC power supply. IC socket in here and power outputs here. Now it can actually feed 4 units like this, so you could feed these two phono stages, but you could also feed, say, maybe a headphone amp or a DAC or whatever else it is you're using without having to buy an extra power supply for them. And the two phono stages, which are exactly the same, very, very simple. Got the power supply input there, got the earth there, output RCA there, and the two inputs, one moving magnet, the other moving coil. The moving coil has a switch, so you can switch between different loads depending on which type of moving coil cartridge you have fitted to your turntable. Here it is shown with the leads connecting it together, the patch leads connecting the power supply to the thing, and the lead connecting the two earthing points. The turntable will come into one of the earthing points, but they do need to be connected together in this particular unit. Now, in my video that I did for my previous phono stage, which was the X-LPS, I showed the sort of modifications and accessories I'd made to that particular unit to improve the sound quality. Now, in this case, these units have been using the upgraded parts right from day one, so I'll mention them first before actually talking about the sound quality of the unit. And here is the system as it is wired up. The standard patch leads we've got here have been replaced with Kimber, which is what I was using on the previous model. The very basic earth wire, which would be brilliant at picking up interference, has been replaced again with Kimber weaved cable, and the mains lead is also a Russ lead, again made with Kimber weaved cable. The phono RCA leads come from the turntable itself, built into the clear audio concept, and I use my custom made Kimber cables from this unit into the main preamplifier. In my opinion, the accessories that you use with your hi-fi equipment, taken as a whole, are just as important as the components that you use within your hi-fi system. One of the technical hi-fi YouTube channels actually refers to cabling within hi-fi as hi-fi hygiene, and to a large extent that's a good way of looking at it. The cables don't magically improve the sound, they just remove degradation from your system and allow your equipment to operate at its very best. Now, while I used this set right from the start using the upgraded wiring, there was one other modification that I could make. Now, the unit comes with these three components. You've got the two phono preamplifiers, one for left, one for right, both mono, and one power supply to power them both. Now, we already have a power supply like this that I was using with my X-LPS, so I might as well bring that into the equation, and there it is. Now I have a 4-box phono stage. Power supply for the left, with the left phono stage, right phono stage, and the power supply for the right. So now I've got completely separate dual mono. Now I had the parts lying around, I might as well use them. Some piece of advice that I'd give to anybody who's setting up the hi-fi equipment: try setting it up in different ways. If you have different leads you can use, different components, or you can wire them up different ways, always do so. You never know what it sounds like until you actually try it yourself. So I tried this, and to be perfectly honest, I'd be hard pushed to say I heard any difference. There might have been a little bit more body, there might have been a little bit more wallop to the sound, but nothing I could really put my finger on and say yes, that was a definite difference or a definite improvement. Now, with any hi-fi product, the most important thing is what it sounds like. Now this replaces my previous model, which was the Musical Fidelity X-LPS, which is the model beneath this in the range. And this model sounds quite different. I was expecting it to sound the same, but better. It sounds different and better. This model is very big, very bold, very warm, very smooth, very detailed, very natural sounding. It makes the sound have real body and three-dimensionality to it. The X-LPS by comparison is perhaps rather thin sounding, perhaps slightly unrealistic despite its high level of detail. It just does not sound anything like as good as this unit. So in conclusion, I'm very happy that I have one of the hi-fi components that I've always wanted to own. It's definitely a keeper. I like the sound quality that it has. I very much doubt that it'll be the last phono stage that I buy, but it might be the last one I buy for the clear audio concept. I'm more likely to replace the turntable before I buy another phono stage. And being realistic, I would have probably bought this product after I'd bought a new cartridge for the turntable, if I could buy things on a list, if they're all brand new and you could just go to the shops and buy them as and when you wanted to. But with a product like this, so it's very, very rare, only available second hand, I had to jump on it when I saw it at a decent price. Now I remember giving the X-LPS a review, despite the fact it was a second hand product, and gave it a glowing review at that. Now this product is clearly better than the X-LPS, but it's also significantly more expensive. And as such I'd give it a slightly less glowing review, probably 4 out of 5 star product, something in that range. If you see it and you fancy trying out something a bit different, something a little bit quirky, sure, give it a shot. So conclusions that can be drawn, simply that a phono stage has a big impact on the sound quality of your turntable setup, and you really do need to try different models. You really do need to track one down that is good but also gels well with your system and gives you a sound presentation that you actually like. Certainly if you're currently using a phono stage built into your amplifier or receiver or preamplifier, you'd be well advised to try an external unit. You might be able to get serious gains and improvements to your vinyl replay. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.